frigid, moonlit night in 1933, a group of Inuit hunters stumbled upon a massive, dark silhouette drifting through the icy waters near northern Alaska. As they drew closer, the shadow revealed itself as a derelict cargo ship, eerily quiet except for the groaning of ice grinding against its hull. Curious, the group decided to board the ship, hoping to find anything of value amidst the desolation. Once on board, they discovered a haunting emptiness. The ship seemed frozen in time, with its rusting metal walls whispering secrets of the past. The atmosphere was thick, not just with the biting cold, but with an inexplicable sense of unease. Just as they began their search, the wind shifted violently, and a sudden Arctic storm trapped them on board. For 10 days, the group endured the eerie groans and creaks of the ship as it fought against the shifting ice. When the storm finally cleared, they fled the vessel, leaving it behind to drift into obscurity. Little did they know, this was far from the end of the ship's story. Over the following decades, this phantom ship would be seen countless times, mysteriously reappearing all across the icy expanse of the Beaufort Sea. Its legend as the ghost ship of the Arctic was just beginning. The SS Baychimo began its journey far from the icy waters of Alaska. Launched in Sweden in 1914, the ship was initially named Angermanälven, after a Swedish river. Built with a steel hull and powered by a triple expansion steam engine, she was designed to be sturdy and reliable. At 230 feet long and weighing 1,322 tons, the ship wasn't the largest of its kind, but was well suited for trading voyages. During World War I, Angermanälven was used for commerce between Sweden and Germany, a role that made her a valuable asset. However, the end of the war brought significant changes. As part of Germany's reparations, the ship was handed over to the British in 1920. Soon after, the Hudson Bay Company purchased her for £15,000, renaming her the SS Baychimo. Under the Hudson Bay Company, the Baychimo became a vital lifeline for remote Arctic trading posts. She carried essential supplies and returned with valuable furs, connecting isolated communities to the outside world. Her voyages were challenging, navigating treacherous Arctic waters and facing unpredictable weather. But the Baychimo proved resilient, completing 9 such trips over the years. The SS Baychimo's life as an Arctic trader was not without its perils. Each voyage was a battle against the elements. Thick fog, towering icebergs, and violent storms were constant threats. Despite the dangers, the ship's crew persevered, braving these conditions to maintain their routes. One of the ship's most remarkable achievements came in 1924, when it successfully circumnavigated the globe. Traveling through the Panama Canal and later the Suez Canal, the Baychimo showcased its reliability and versatility. However, even with such accomplishments, the ship's operations were far from glamorous. Life on board was harsh, with crew members enduring freezing temperatures, isolation, and the ever-present danger of ice crushing the ship's hull. By the late 1920s, conditions in the Arctic were growing even more unpredictable. The challenges began to outweigh the rewards, and the SS Baychimo seemed to attract trouble with increasing frequency. The stage was set for a series of events that would cement her legacy as a ghost ship. The trouble truly began in 1931, during what would become the Baychimo's most infamous voyage. As the summer drew to a close, the ship was returning from a trading run when it became trapped in pack ice near Point Barrow, Alaska. An early blizzard swept through the region, making conditions even worse. The crew, led by Captain Sidney Cornwell, decided to abandon the ship temporarily and seek shelter in the nearby town of Barrow. When the crew returned, they found the Baychimo had broken free from the ice. However, her hull had been heavily damaged by the ordeal, making it impossible to sail her safely. Determined not to give up, Captain Cornwell and 14 crew members stayed behind to keep watch over the ship, hoping to salvage her once the ice cleared. But the Arctic had other plans. On November 24th, a ferocious storm struck the region, and when it subsided, the Baychimo was gone. Believing the ship had finally succumbed to the elements and sunk, the crew abandoned their post and returned to Barrow. Days later, reports came in from Inuit hunters who had spotted the Baychimo adrift miles away. When the crew located her, they realized she was too damaged to survive the winter. They stripped her of her cargo and left her behind for the final time. Despite being abandoned, the SS Baychimo refused to fade into the Arctic wilderness. In the months following her abandonment, she began to reappear, first 300 miles from her last known location, then further afield. These sightings became more frequent, and with each new report, the ship's reputation as a ghost ship grew. In 1932, a man named Leslie Melvin was traveling with his dog sled team when he spotted the Baychimo floating peacefully near the shore. Months later, a group of prospectors encountered the ship under eerily similar circumstances. Each sighting added a new layer to the mystery, fueling speculation that the Baychimo was being guided by supernatural forces. The most chilling account came in 1933, when a group of Inuit hunters sought shelter aboard the Baychimo during a storm. They reported hearing ghostly sounds, groans and creaks that seemed almost alive. These stories turned the Baychimo from a maritime curiosity into a full-fledged legend. By 1939, the Baychimo's fame had spread far and wide, attracting the attention of salvage crews. Captain Hugh Paulson led one of the most ambitious attempts to recover the ship. He managed to locate the Baychimo, but quickly realized his vessel was too small to tow the much larger steamer. Paulson's failure marked the last recorded attempt to salvage the ghost ship. World War II brought a temporary halt to Arctic exploration, and sightings of the Baychimo slowed. Many assumed the ship had finally met its end, but sporadic reports in the 1950s and 1960s reignited interest in her story. The last confirmed sighting occurred in 1969, nearly 4 decades after she was first abandoned. To this day, the fate of the SS Baychimo remains unknown. How could a ship survive for so long in one of the world's harshest environments? Was her longevity due to superior engineering, or was there something otherworldly at play? These questions continue to baffle maritime historians and enthusiasts alike. In 2006, the Alaskan government launched an official search for the Baychimo, hoping to solve her mystery once and for all. Despite their efforts, no trace of the ship was ever found. It's as if she vanished into thin air, leaving only her legend behind. The SS Baychimo's story is more than just a tale of survival. It's a reminder of humanity's fascination with the unknown. For decades, she defied logic and the laws of nature, drifting through the icy waters of the Arctic like a ghost. Her legend continues to inspire speculation and wonder. Perhaps the Baychimo still exists, frozen in a forgotten corner of the Arctic, waiting to be discovered by the next intrepid explorer. Or maybe her final resting place lies deep beneath the ice, her secrets locked away forever. Whatever the truth, the SS Baychimo will forever be remembered as the ghost ship of the Arctic.